Hi all, how are you? Today I welcome you to my channel Marketing Made Easy. Today we're going to discuss about an MBA subject, Advertising and Brand Management, and the topic that we're going to discuss is media planning. So in this video, I'm going to cover two topics, that is what is media planning and what are the steps that are involved in media planning. Don't forget to subscribe. Right. So let's see what is media planning. So according to a very famous definition, media planning involves selecting appropriate media for carrying advertising message to target audience and deciding how much to spend on each media and scheduling, that is the decision about the time when the advertisement is to be run. So there are a few important keywords here which all of you should remember. So selecting appropriate media. So when we talk about appropriate media selection, it could be TV, it could be newspaper, it could be social media, it could be podcast or any other form like, out of home advertising, which is what comprises of the appropriate media. Then when we are talking about the proper target audience, whom are we talking to? According to the demographics, what is the age group or what is that set of people whom we are actually addressing? Then when we come to spending, I have kept this particular image called smart spending. It's very important for any organization to spend their budget very smartly on every media, right? And regarding the timing is very, very important, as we all know. When a particular ad or a certain kind of promotion should be launched, that is what is very, very important in media planning. So let's get going. So the most important thing, and most of the times this question is being frequently asked in examinations also. From examinations point of view also, this is very important. So the first step in media planning is market analysis. The second step is the objectives of the media. Then the third one is the media strategy. Fourth one being selection of the media mix. Fifth one is budget and media buying. And the sixth and the last one is the evaluation and follow-up. Let's see one by one. So the first one is the market analysis. So let's spend some time here. So every media plan begins with the market analysis or environmental analysis. So as I said about previously about the target audience, it can be classified in the terms of demographics. Like for example, a certain age and the gender, then the income basis, or what exactly are you trying to target upon? What is the occupation of that person who has to see your particular advertisement? It's very, very important to do the market analysis. Then media consumption habits play a very significant role. So as you see on the screen, I have kept few examples here. Nowadays, most of the youngsters are using Instagram. So if you want, or if any organization launches a product or service which is invariably targeted at the youth or the younger segment, they should focus on spending their budget on Instagram, because that is where you actually get the youngsters. Then there are also a lot of people who consume the OTT, which is very prominent and very popular now. So you can also think how the organizations are spending on OTT, like, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar, or maybe Alt Balaji or something like that. Then it also should see who are watching TV. Is it the young women, older women, or the middle-aged women who are hooked to the serials, or can the company decide on using the TV as a very important tool for their promotion? Then we also have newspapers, which are very, very important. Today especially, I saw something very important in the newspaper which I thought I should share with you. So there are two advertisements which I found are very prominent. This is an advertisement from Kia Motors about their vehicle which they have advertised. It's a full page advertisement in the Hindu. Then in the same newspaper, I also saw something interesting, that is a advertisement again, which is by Maruti Suzuki, and they are talking about the brand called Brezza, right? So the company has to decide what is it that my audience is actually, where can I get my audience? That's what we mean by market analysis. And the target audience is the main factor or the most crucial factor which decides the company's decision to invest in. Then of course, you're able to see something else also on the screen, that is what do the internet what is the internet being used for? So are people using it for consuming the social media? Are they using information? Or are they looking at news, or are they looking at entertainment? What else are they using it for? So if your company or if any organization wants to invest in the internet, then you have to understand, okay, what for is the audience coming there? Then let's move on. So I just want you to spend a moment here. It's a very important information. So here it is actually given what happens in a minute on internet. So as you can see, so many hours of music, so many photo views, new Twitter accounts being opened, so many logins in Facebook and Google, so much is happening. So this is a very, very important aspect for us to understand. I'll be talking about this again and again throughout this video. So just please keep it in your mind, and it's a very important tool for all the marketing organizations, okay? Because they need to understand what exactly do I need to know. If you just look at the app downloads also, there are a lot of happening. In thousands in a minute, lot of apps are being downloaded, right? Similarly, if you look at the YouTube, it could be just one small example that this many hours of video is being uploaded and this many million views are being uploaded in YouTube, right? So let's discuss this a little later, right? So I wanted to bring that particular example just before the media objectives because it is very relevant for us to understand certain aspects, right? So there are 5 crucial factors which are very, very important. First is the reach, second is the frequency, next comes continuity, next comes the cost, and finally the weight. So let's see what this actually mean for us. Right. Reach. Reach refers to the number of people that will be exposed to a media vehicle at least once during a given period of time. That means just now I showed you an example what happens on the internet in a minute. So if you look at the YouTube or the Google or the Amazon app downloads or anything, you will know that this many number of people are there being exposed to so many media, let it be newspaper or TV or the internet and an internet specific targeted audience, right? So this is a very important and crucial factor for a company to decide the media planning. Then comes your frequency. So frequency refers to the average number of times an individual within target audience is exposed to a media vehicle during a given period of time. So in frequency, you should remember how many times somebody is being exposed to that particular advertisement at the same time during a particular period. Say for instance, during summer, how many times you might have seen the advertisements of the beverages brands that are being promoted on the TV. Similarly, if it is a winter season, you might have heard about cold creams, you might have heard about soaps which are targeted at skin care. Similarly, during festival seasons, you might have heard about brands which talk in one advertisement, they talk about too many things. They say this is a seasonal sale for Christmas, Pongal, then Ramzan. Okay, so all in one together they'll try to attack. And during that period, you constantly get to hear those promotional advertisements or that promotional material. It could be in any form. So the number of times plus whatever is a target audience is being exposed during a given point in time. That's very important to remember. Then we also have the third important aspect called continuity. So this continuity refers to the pattern of advertisements in a media schedule, right? So there are some options of continuity alternatives. So the first one is continuous. Strategy of running campaign evenly over a period of time. If you have seen some favorite advertisements or popular advertisements on the television especially, you see them constantly there, like for example Synthol, or you say Lifebuoy, or a particular Castrol lubricants or servo lubricants. They're constantly there over a period of time. Then you have something on pulsing. Strategy of running a campaign steadily over a period of time with intermittent increase in advertising at certain levels as festivals or special occasions. So the relevant thing which I can talk about is the IPL. So during this season, you might know so many ads are coming and you can see a lot of things happening only during IPL, right? That is pulsing. Then the third one is discontinuous. The strategy of advertising heavily only at certain intervals and no advertising in the interim period as in the case of seasonal products. Like you see on the screen, Pear soap. They generally say use it in winter because it's full of glycerin, it's good for your health and things like that. Similarly, woolen clothes, right? During a particular season, you might be seeing lot of branded woolen clothes advertising on TV only during that season. So, this is called discontinuous strategy. Okay, right. Next, cost. Cost refers to the cost of different media. For example, just now I have shown you the newspaper advertisement of cars. So, the rates for a full page newspaper versus a half page newspaper might differ. So, this is a full page newspaper. The rates for this might differ from a half page newspaper, right? Then, similarly, I brought something. So, this is just one small example which is available for us. So, in a particular channel, per 10 seconds, that's the rate, and that too you can see the timings also. Basing on the prime time, the rate also is being increased. So, they are trying to make advantage of the timings which are available for people. So, as per, suppose lot of people view it and we call it the prime time, then the prices are going to be very heavy, which is going to be costly for the marketing organization. Next comes the weight. Weight refers to the total advertising required during a particular period. So, this is a source from the annual reports of Nestle India and PepsiCo. So, as we see, in 2019, they have spent 7853.4 million rupees, that's the expenditure by Nestle India on advertising and sales promotion. Similarly, in 2018, they have spent 7294.4 million rupees. At the same time, if you look at the other example, PepsiCo, it has spent $4.7 billion in 2019, and in 18, it's $4.2 billion. So, this is the total advertising during a particular period. Here, we are talking about a particular year, in fact. Right. So, the third important aspect is determining our media strategies. So, media strategies determined during the considering the following things. So, first one is media mix. A media mix is from a wide range of media vehicles. The advertiser can employ one vehicle or a suitable vehicles mix. So, when we are talking about lot of media vehicles, TV, newspaper, out of home, social media, so many models are there now, right? Next, the target market is also very important. I have very interestingly noticed that podcast is one important platform where many new brands are coming to advertise themselves. And if you have, if any one of you use Spotify, you also might have noticed that for certain advertisements that are getting played on Spotify, they say, if you watch this particular advertisement, you will get the next 30 minutes ad-free music. So, that is a very new strategy that is happening. So, that's why we have to be cautious of what is our target market. Then, the other thing which I have shown you is in transit. Like for example, when you are waiting at a bus stand, you might see some kinds of ads. So, this is one small ad of Burger King which has been kept in a bus stand. Okay, so where people are waiting. So, you have to decide. The company decides what is the media vehicle which I have to think. And then it is not necessary that they will be only promoting it on one particular media vehicle. So, we might be seeing some ads on the TV. Like just now I showed you some print ads. The same vehicle might be as well be advertised on TV. So, it is a mix. It's a mix of print plus TV. Sometimes it is a mix of podcast apps like Spotify or Hubhopper or Ghana or whatever you want to name. And then you also have options like I can advertise in railway stations and in bus stops, wherever you want, right? Next, scheduling. So, it shows the number of ads, the size of ads and the time in which it has to appear. So, we will spend a little time here. So, the first category in this is a seasonal pulse. Like I told you, it could be seasonal, like for example, for cold creams or for beverages or for ice creams, or now it is a time for sanitizers and masks, I should say. Then steady pulse. According to this, one ad is shown over a period of time, say one ad per week or one ad per month. So, basing on the monthly budget or the weekly budget that the organizations have, they want to release certain amounts of ads, right? Then periodic pulse. A regular pattern is followed in such scheduling as in case of consumer durables and non-durables. Say for example, if it's an FMCG product, they would like to follow a certain pattern, maybe weekly once or monthly twice, or yearly 6-7 times or maybe 12 times or things like that. Then erratic pulse is one where there is no pattern followed. Whatever fund they have, they want to deploy for the promotion. Then startup. Such scheduling is followed during a new campaign or launch of a new product. In the recent times, you might have noticed that, brands like White Hat Junior have picked up very well, and it's a new startup, so people, they want to promote a lot. So they are not leaving any stone unturned. They are advertising on TV, on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, in newspaper, in your emails, messages, everywhere possible you have advertisements like that. Then finally you have the promotional pulse. It's for a short time, only for a promotional period. Like some kinds of businesses, they do promotions at the inaugural. So they want lot of promotion to happen during the initial stages, or some kind of brands might promote during festival season, say for example Christmas, or they want to do it for Ramzan and things like that, right? Next. Reach and frequency is also very important, which we have already discussed. Then creativity aspects. So creativity in ad campaign decides the success of the product, but to implement it, it must employ a media that supports such a strategy. So this is where the organization's smartness appears in picking up the right media partner. For example, whom do they want to employ? If we look at the world's biggest media organizations, do they want to go with WPP, Ogilvy, JWT, TWA, and them, or Mudra, or somebody like that? Then flexibility. An effective media strategy requires a degree of flexibility, because not necessary that always you should follow the same norm. People have gone to different kinds of models. Now they are advertising, as just now I have mentioned to you. Now people are looking at podcast as a very important platform. In few podcasts, if the podcast is running for say 25 minutes, after 20 minutes, the other 5 minutes is left for, brands, right from mattresses to skincare to whatnot. Everything is being promoted. Then budget considerations. In determining the media strategy, cost must be estimated and budgets must be considered. Then media selection. It covers broadly two decisions. One is selection of media class and also the media vehicle in that particular class. The fourth step is a selection of media mix. So the use of more than one type of advertising media, as I already mentioned. So a company would decide whether it would go for print or podcast or TV or internet, or do they exclusively want to do email promotions? What is it that they want to do? Then a combination of media types is known as the media mix, and no advertiser can rely only on one medium to reach his audience. Today there are so many advertisements available to us, and then during these seasons I have read somewhere that all the political parties today, now they are trying to make the voters aware of using the digital medium. They are being trained on how to use WebEx and Zoom. It is no new thing, they have aimed for a certain number of voters awareness program, but the number has exceeded by double times. So it is no new thing. So you cannot rely on one particular medium. So today Zoom and WebEx have picked up so well, and voters are being made aware how to use those things so that the meetings can be conducted without any kind of difficulty and constraints, right? So a typical media mix for consumer products can include television, outdoor like the hoarding that is there, POP, point of purchase is very, very important, because you might have noticed and experienced also that when you go to purchase certain products from shopping malls and places like Walmart, D-Mart, More, Reliance and things like that. So at the place where you actually get the billing done, you see lot of products. And even when in showrooms like Unlimited also, when you go for buying and paying the bill, at the billing counter they try to sell you something. It could be a small deodorant, or it could be a Smiley ball, or Kinder Joy, or it could be a Duracell battery, many things like that. So that's a very important place to advertise, right? Next. Budget and media buying. So budget allocations are very important, because the medium, region and the time have to be taken into consideration, and media buying is very, very important. So this occurs once the plan is approved and buyers work with media representatives to negotiate final prices for the various activities. So as I spoke to you regarding the various world famous media agencies, they do have a lot of discussion with the organization, and they discuss, they deliberate regarding the timings, what is the medium that has to be advertised, and the final prices also that have to be advertised will all be planned together, and that influences what kind of promotion is the company deciding to go ahead. Then competitive strategies and budget considerations are important, because The competitors influence the media budgets to a very large extent. Then the last step is the evaluation and follow-up. So the two factors which need to be considered are what kind of strategies do we apply in achieving our media objectives. So the media objectives could be how many people are reading the Hindu newspaper and how many of them are actually going through the advertisement of the 2 cars that have been advertised. That's number 1. Second thing, out of those people who have read the ad, are they going to consider what kind of offers I'm going to give them? Are they really going to come for the test drive? Are they going to buy? These are various strategies and these have to be kept in mind when you are planning the media objectives. Similarly, how far is the media plan successful in accomplishing the advertising objective? So is it to inform the customer, or is it to remind him, or is it to persuade him to buy? What is it that is the advertising objective that has to be achieved? Okay, right. So let's have a quick recap. So these are the 6 steps in media planning that we have discussed today. We started with what is media planning, and then we went on one by one deliberating on what are the 6 steps. So the first one is the market analysis, where you try to understand the market and the target audience. Then you have the media objectives, then the media strategies, selection of the media mix, then the budget and media buying, and finally the evaluation and follow-up. Thank you for watching this. Please do like and share and do subscribe for lot of more content in marketing. Thank you very much. Signing off, Saujanya. Bye.